Hello, everybody. Master von Schmeling, Sergio von Schmeling here, and my wife, Barbara von Schmeling.
Hello.
Mrs. Master von Schmeling. My son, Herman von Schmeling, Master von Schmeling. A lot of von Schmeling here. Again, we are in connection with all of you around the world. We are live. Then please join us. And if you have any question, any comments, we are not particularly looking for any comments that is just a comment. We would like to actually share some of your questions, and if we can provide some answers. I'm sure we had some answer even that maybe some of you won't enjoy hearing the answer, but it's going to be a genuine answer. As you can see, for last almost a month, I was with not shaving and different look because many reasons. Let me explain to you one of the reasons. It's called identity, and we have an identity that we create, and we usually that identity start early in our life. We start to acquire identities based on our environment. Our parents usually copy many of the good things we have from our parents, and many things that we copy from our parents that they are not maybe the best for us, but in that moment we thought was cool to emulate our father or our mother, and we keep that, and then 20-30 years later we're still using that. It's like having a little bit like if you live in the mountains, you will have a truck or a jeep, because that's what the mountain requires for you to move around. But then, because you enjoyed your jeep so much or your big truck, then you move to the city and you're still driving that truck, and that does make sense for me. Why not changing? Why not changing to something much more practical for the environment? Same thing happened with our identity, and I did on purpose leave my beard long and like that, just to change my identity, because I always was shaving, and now I'll go back to another identity, and this identity is again clean shave and
Yay!
yes. and I want to talk to you all about identity, because what's making us many of people suffering in this moment is like somebody changed. It's like it's a famous book they call who moved my cheese, and many people they are desperate because somebody moves your cheese. And just to spoil this book, basically the book is a book where two mouse they living in this house, and they were super happy because every night when the owners of the house they go to sleep, they go to this place and they find their cheese, and they just eat their cheese, and they were super happy. They knew that they had cheese to eat every night. One night, the cheese wasn't there, and the two mouse, one react totally different than the other. One mouse get desperate. One mouse get so angry, so mad, so sad that somebody moved the cheese, and then they start to have what's this called when you anxiety. What else? They start to suffer. They say, oh, this mouse, one of them is like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do now? We don't have cheese. The other mouse, so he say, no way, the cheese has to be somewhere. And he start to looking for the cheese, and he go around and around looking. One stay freeze and crying and just being pity about it, and the other went and fight for it and went to looking for the cheese because somebody moved the cheese. Then I'm gonna spoil the book one more time. Guess what happened? The one that stayed crying, he died from sadness. The other one that was looking for the cheese everywhere and didn't give up, find much bigger cheese. He find a whole room of cheese. Then when I read this, it's like, oh, which mouse would you like to be? Which mouse you are? And I can tell you, and I'm gonna be bragging a little bit here at Victory with my team, with my family, with my partners. We are the mouse that looking for the next huge run of cheese, and we will find it. We start to find it a little trace already, little trace of those cheese. We already start to find it. And in the meantime, I hope not. You are not. Other people they just stay in there crying, say, "Who moved my cheese?" Then that was the beginning of my interaction with all of you. And now I would like to ask Barbara or Master von Schmeling how she feel about this or what she's doing about it, and also either or.
Well, as you see, last week we had no plan. This week we have a plan. Actually, it's his plan. We had no idea what he was talking about. But we asked him, can we have a plan, a subject? So, yeah, I think this is actually a really good point, because I think we all, when we encounter some challenges or we encounter changes, we react differently. And the fact that if we start to really think about what's going to happen in the future, like creating that anxiety without doing anything about it, it doesn't help at all. So maybe taking the time to analyze and to be grateful, of course, in the moment for what we have. Like even yesterday, we had an experience. Our daughter woke up sick. She was throwing up, and I'm sorry I say this, because actually we went to hang out with Master von Schmeling here at his house, and she, for the first time in her life, she had potato chips. And she woke
barbecue potato chips.
Yeah, not just potato chips.
They were organic, non-GMO. I hate to say that. And actually, they weren't supposed to be barbecue, but I'm so sorry.
Yeah. No, because she's not used to it, so that was different in her body. But then what happened to her, she woke up with a headache and she wanted to, she had to throw up. And then later she felt better. But I was telling her that, because then she said, well, you learn from your mistakes. That was her quote, right? And then I said, Annabella, yes, you learn from your mistakes, but it's even smarter if you learn from other people's mistakes, right? So I explained to her, the reason I told you not to eat too many is because it already happened to me and I already felt sick, so I knew it was going to happen to you. So, I mean, she's 6 years old, and then that was her conclusion, I'm learning from my mistakes, which is great. But if we can learn and observe other people and learn from them, I think that it's the wise person, right? They said that the stupid never learn, the smart learn from their mistakes, and then the wise learn from other people's mistakes.
Yes, from the stupid and the smart.
From the smart and the stupid.
Yes.
Yeah. So, just observing around and see what you can do. That way you don't have to go through it, but see what's going on with other people as well, so you can make better choices.
Yeah. No, I think. My live just dropped as soon as I
hope your live does it.
During this time, we're learning so much about ourselves, learning so much from others, learning from seeing our team, how creative they're being. Creativity really translates into discovery of what your potential and capacity is. We had our graduation too in our schools, and we're seeing the instructors and our team going to the houses, delivering the belts. I mean, it's so fulfilling to see see the reaction of the families receiving the belt and seeing the kids jump. I mean, there's no greater feeling. It's priceless in my opinion. And so I think this time is allowing us to really expand our mind and to think outside the box, just like you say. There's no box. You have to really connect, and it's allowing us to connect in ways that we didn't even know that could be possible. So there's so much learning going on, and we say never stop learning, because life will never stop teaching. So every day we're learning better and better.
Then, and this identity that I was talking about, like what is your identity? Is this identity still serving you in this moment? Because even in the martial art world, we have very strong identities. And if this type of identity is still serving you in this moment, especially in this moment, then it's a quote from one of my mentors say that focus equals feeling. Then what I focus in gonna give me the feelings that I get or I receive in them. Then the question is always, what kind of feeling I want? I want positive feeling. I want fulfillment. Then I have to focus in on things that will give me those feelings. And that's the reason that I will highly recommend it. And I keep saying this, but I highly recommend it. What's like Master von Schmeling say, is that what we're gonna focus on is on things that they are good in this moment, and opportunity, like so many of us going online, like we are. And this is a way to connect with people that we never connect before, or we connect a very, very, very small amount. Like I am connected with many people in South America and Europe and Asia, and they writing to me. I connected with all friends. They were my friends in elementary school. I was playing soccer in the barrio with some people, and they writing me. I mean, it's just the amount of connection. I also I had a friend of mine and a colleague in Sydney, Australia. Besides, we have in schools in Sydney, Australia, a Victory School there. But one of my friends was showing me Sydney, and one time we were in Sydney, and one area, and I don't remember the name of the area in Sydney, where you can see the bay. Is that called the bay?
Yeah, the harbor.
The harbor.
Yes.
And it's a neighborhood with all these neighbor. They have a outside to pretty much like rocking chairs to sit down, and you can see the harbor. And also they had like, what is that called? A terrace, I guess. What is it called?
Yeah, like a balcony.
A balcony. Every house has a balcony and it's the most expensive neighborhood in Sydney. And this friend of mine, Master Fari, he say, you know what? I come in here. This is the most expensive area in town because you can see the harbor, but I never yet see anybody sitting outside their house watching the harbor. And today I was driving and I was exercising with my wife in the neighborhood, and now we see people sitting in their porch and the rocking chair, and that is new for America. I never see people sitting outside their houses before, and you see more kids playing in the street, and people start to interact in the street, and we create friends, and we exercise or we play with friends on the street now. People that are out of their house. It's not, I mean, it's just, this is fantastic. Or I was bragging about the creativity, not just we at Victory, we had our instructor became so creative about doing different ways, testing, bell promotion, delivery, but also we start to be very creative in other areas, like my wife making a sandwich, a totally different than the regular sandwich. I don't know if she learned this from somewhere or she just trying to cut the amount of bread that she put on my sandwich, that way I don't get so overweight, that she did something like,
it's a tuna melt. I didn't make it up.
I love tuna melt. I love tuna melt, but this is open. You just put it on one bread and then you put it on the oven and step toast. Anyway, that was like I asking her to do that again.
I'll post the recipe later.
Yes. Then, but that creativity give us hope. That creativity. Then, the famous analogy of when you crossing your arm this way, this is comfortable. But if I ask everybody to cross the other way, it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable until it becomes comfortable. Then maybe this is a new way to communicate. This is maybe the new ways to teach martial art or teaching other stuff, teaching many things. Maybe this is just a new way. New way always is uncomfortable until that becomes the norm. Then please, everybody, let's embrace these changes. Let's embrace this challenge. I say this many times. Charles Darwin was right. You know, it's not the strongest of the smartest species that survive. Is the one that has the ability to adapt. But when we do this adaptation, we should try to be pioneers, because the famous quote is say, leaders take action. The other, they still thinking about it. All right. Then, or leaders act, losers react. Then let's take muscle action on this and embrace the changes. And let's change the story, because if we change the story, we change the meaning. Then if this is a story that creates horror, let's change the story, because you are, I am, we are the screenplay, the writer. We are the director. We are the actor. We are the cameraman many times.
Choose how this is going to end.
Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah, you can choose the end of the story. I mean, then then we have to use our mind. That way, our mind doesn't use us. Then again, I have to use my mind. That way, my mind doesn't use me. Then this is like one of my great mentors say is, this need to be like my pit bull, my dog, and I train my dog the way I want it, and I call my dog when I want it, and I control my dog. My dog doesn't control me.
Yes. How is it? Stay guard at the door of your mind.
I don't know very good how to say that.
Yes, like you are the one who guards the door of your mind. Whatever
Yes.
goes in, it's up to you.
And garbage in, garbage out. Then what we're gonna do? Any suggestion for the mothers up there? The Mother Specialist Mothers Month, and we want to dedicate this and many other time to our mother. I just learning so much how to appreciate all the mothers out there that spending so much time with their kids, and let's embrace that. But for us as a father or as a husband, many times we take for granted that, and also appreciate the teachers. Oh my gosh.
Right.
Then can you share a little bit of your experience with the people and what are you doing or how to deal with this and or how you dealing with?
Well, I think one of the hardest things now, especially for I would say women, is because we are the ones usually handling and dealing with the children, is that at the same time, let's say, okay, I'm here, I'm working, but then I have the time that I have to be with my daughter and homeschool and do all that. There's not much left for me, not much like time left for me. So I do a few things to make sure that I stay in tune with myself and with my body. Even you can even do it with the kids, play some music, dance, because we as feminine bodies, we need to move. That is part of it. So that always helps. But it's very good also to do it alone. Take like 5 minutes, choose 2 songs, just play, even if you're just lying there and relaxing and thinking, or not really thinking like your mind is thinking, but letting your body just absorb and be in that space. I would say that always helps for you to kind of tune back in. It's like, I don't know if you've ever heard of tuning forks. You know, some people, or even a chime, like we have a little chime at home, and when our daughter, she's upset, and that was a gift from a friend of ours. You know, she uses the chime to calm down, and that helps. So for me, my tuning forks are music and movement, so that helps me. Because if not, we're about to like jump on everyone's necks. That helps.
I think remembering to breathe. I mean, I feel like, you know, that helps me out a lot. I remember my Apple Watch sometimes remind me you need to breathe better, and so that's a very, you know, I know from Tony Robbins, was having that 10 minutes a day where you take for yourself and you just appreciate the things you have and have that moment to yourself. That way you can be the best for everyone around you.
So Mr. Manaya here from Portugal, he said that one thing Chief Master taught me last summer: create the story that you want to live and just do it.
Yeah. Yes. Then we can change. We have the ability to change things in a second. We are maybe the only beings in this world that we can change in a second from one thing to it. We have the ability. We can change. We can change the meaning of something. We change the story. With like Master von Schmein said, you can make your story and how even it's gonna end.
And we can actually create a feeling. We create a feeling.
Absolutely.
Depending on the meaning that we give to. So I can have a thought and make myself happy, or I can have a thought and make myself upset. So it's that powerful. Our mind is so powerful that just ripples through your body with the feelings. So it's very careful what you put in your mind. Yeah.
That change tends to happen negatively in a second, but we have to remember that change needs to be positive. I mean, focus on that rather than, as we tend to immediately react to something, we should be able to change on a positive note the same way in a second. I mean, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, because what is wrong is always available. It's always there, but so what's right? So if we choose to focus on what's right.
Where focus goes, energy flows.
Yeah.
Yes, and and again, every time I mention my father and the loss of my father, somehow people immediately thinking, "Oh, I'm very sad." Of course, I'm gonna be sad by not be able to interact with him anymore. But now more than ever, I using his memories on my benefits, because I can quote him, I can watch pictures, I can remember stuff that he did, and it's funny because I look at him. I had a brother-in-law that he put in all these pictures for years and years and years, pictures of my father of film that he took, and oh my gosh, he was holding all these pictures on his camera, and now he's putting hundreds, maybe even thousands of pictures. It's so nice to see of then again, this is just to prove that you can take this, whatever event that happened to you, even the death of our own parents or the people that we love so much, and convert it to something positive, because they always, everybody, we came to this world to teach something, to share love, to be a role model, to add something to our life.
Pass down to the next generation.
Then then the reason we want to do these videos and this interaction is because I want you to know that it is always a hope there, a hope. It's not, I mean, and please, if you feel bad, do not watch the news. Also, don't depend so much about what the government tell you to do or not, because I don't know how many of you totally trust whatever government, because they are politicians and they are chosen by the people to trying to stay, and they want to be reelected, and they want to. Every country is the same. I mean, in the United States, maybe we have one of the best democracies on the world, or at least a Republican country. But I'm from South America, where I've been to many type of politicians, and they are politicians, and I don't worry about it, and neither the economy. Like I did when I came in 1989, I came to America to work, and then I didn't know what government, and that time I didn't know what is Republican or Democrats. I don't remember even in 1989 who was the president. But later I find out that we were in the 90s or 92s. I don't remember when was it. Was a big not depression, but crisis, financial, and the recession was really bad. I didn't know that because I choose not to participate. But I choose not to participate because I was ignorant of the economy and the politics. Then, just to give you an idea, and maybe this is a little bit boring for you, but if you are from Paraguay in South America, you will remember this. And maybe in the early 70s was a group of Korean people that moved to Paraguay. And earlier they had some other Koreans. I said reason I start martial art because was a huge, and that in one moment was like 250,000 Korean people in Paraguay. And these Koreans, they pretty much introduced the blue jeans to Paraguay, because blue jeans was never known in Paraguay. But then they start to come to your house walking with big bags. I mean, huge bags. They will come to your house, they clap their hand, and they offer you to buy a blue jean or a blue jeans jacket. And you buy it, and they have to, then they come in every week, and you pay weekly. And every week they come in and they pick up their money every week. Then 2 or 3 months goes by, then the same person now is coming in a motorcycle. And again, has a motorcycle with huge boxes on the motorcycle, selling you blue jeans and blue jean jacket. Then 6 months go by, he has a truck. And then and on. Then a couple of years later, they have factories of blue jeans to the point that one of my sister-in-law was working and they start to give job to people. Then they never depend on the economy. Same thing, they open a store, they open 24 hours. They were the first people that they have a store, that if you want something, you go to the, in Espanol, they say, andate al coreano, meaning go to the Korean, because they will open the store. And these people work, but they never depend on the economy of the country. They just survive and then succeed, and they become very wealthy. And there you go. And when you see this kind of example, same thing is going to happen in the martial arts. Same thing is going to happen in every industry. It's about what we do, who we want to really be, how we see this. Are we see this as the worst, or we see this as a better, and what outcome we want from this? And that's what we're doing. We're doing here at Victory. We're doing with our family.
We have a question here.
Yes.
Eric, he's asking, how do you suggest we can improve our resilience?
Okay. Okay. We have 3 types of people: the drifters, the fighters, and I would say they are the fighters. the drifter, they drop every time, and then the other one, they just stay there. They just stay there. Then for people to improve their resilience, is that word? I don't. It's not part of my vocabulary, but I know the meaning. Mm-hmm. You have to have your reason, and your reason need to be bigger than anything else. The reason that we do stuff is because, or you are having so much pleasure, or you want so much pleasure from it, or you are you have so much pain. Those two things, or you do it by inspiration or desperation. Then if, let's say, and I usually use my son as an example, then I forgot that sometimes I heard him. But if I bend his finger here, I bend here, you notice that he's still there. He doesn't do anything because neither is too painful, neither is too comfortable. Then nothing happened. But believe me, if I really pull back like this, he will pull his arm because it's going to be so much pain. Then your reason why is the main reason that some people is going to be resilient. Their reason, they need to be, it's a famous comment from this guy that you met personally, Conor McGregor. And Conor McGregor, he won many world championships in the MMA world. I don't know he's the best role model for many people, but and one thing he was a great role model is when they asking him why he want to win, or he say, I'm obsessed with it. Then every person that you see, they are so resilient. They use the Michael Jordan, the Tiger Woods, the Conor McGregor, all these, the Kobe Bryant, all these people, what they had in common is they are obsessed on winning. They are obsessed on achieving. Just remember, so achievement without a fulfillment is the ultimate failure. This is a quote from one of my mentors. Then please understand this. You want something really bad, like the example somebody gave, it's like if you go underwater and stay there, and when you want to breathe so bad, when you feel like you are choking from lack of air, that's the way you should feel about your goals if you really want to accomplish. And this moment and this environment, those resilient people, they will succeed. But what is your why? First, you need to have your why. Don't worry about how. God will find a way to get how when you know exactly what you want first. Remember, exactly what you want. You cannot be vague. It has to be clearly. What exactly? You exactly define and have picture in your mind. Now, you can even have picture on your wall what you want, if it's something material or relationship or whatever, and then why you want that. And that reason why need to be so powerful. How will the strategy will come later? Is that, I hope this answered the question.
Having that purpose, right?
Yes.
Strong purpose. Mm-hmm.
Then this is, we're doing this for almost 30 minutes. We don't want to steal your time so much. And I apologize for the friends that they speak Spanish. Usually when we do something like that, they write me and say, please do it in Spanish. I did some in Spanish yesterday for a small group, but we can do this more. But if anybody has any question that we can help, and we had fellow colleagues in the martial art that they write me, and they always ask me questions. Anyone there watching, I will.
How about those people that say, "Oh, that's easy for you to say, Chief Master, because you have the."
Yes.
I don't even know. I'm just trying to.
And I would be, again, we are in the same storm here. We are all in the same storm. We are not in the same boat. My boat maybe is a little bit bigger than the other people, but I know many friends that their boat is much bigger than mine. And other people, they are in a little raft, and other people in a canoe. We are in the same storm. We are not in the same boat. How we do it so is very important, because I had the privilege to be in yachts, 155 feet yachts with servers and things like that. I mean, you can be in that yacht and still not enjoying yourself, or you can be in a little canoe, and when you are with the right person, with the right mindset, you still can enjoy it. Then to finish this, I will highly recommend it to please everybody divide your life Make sure that your relationship, you grow in your relationship, you focus enough time in your relationship, you focus enough time on yourself, like Barbara was talking about, take time for yourself, and focusing on your work. And then it's possible trying to interchange those three, where you focusing on your relationship and somehow your wife or husband or your kids participate also in your persona and your personal time, and also in your work. If you focus so much on one thing and you don't have those three things very clearly, you won't be able to really enjoy life, because your relationship, nothing is better than having a great relationship. Yourself, that means you take care of yourself, your health, your fitness, your mind. You feed you work out your physical part. You feed your mind every day, all right? And then your emotion, your heart, and why not your spirituality. Then when you take care of those, and then your work, because you cannot deny that without your career and the income and the maybe the money that you acquire through your work, you cannot have the tranquility or the health insurance or take care of the basic needs that we have.
Yeah.
Okay. Then closing remarks.
We're all essential. I think that's something.
Oh yes.
We're all essential.
Yes.
Yeah, we are.
That phrase
Listen,
right there.
For me, it was so offensive when the people say martial art is not essential, because for many people and family, we had over, I don't know, maybe 5,000-6,000 families just in Victory Martial Art here in the United States and Europe and Australia, that we are essential for them. And how I know that is because very, very small amount of people, they call us to cancel their membership. The majority, they participate. The majority, they support us, because obviously what we're doing is essential for them. Then how can we not be essential? Then if the government tell me that I'm not essential, I would like to use some word that I not properly say, but I know that I'm essential. And I hope you, if you are a martial art instructor, make sure you are essential. You are essential because you're helping children, adults, you're helping families to their fitness, their health, their safety, and give them some sense of purpose, and helping with their discipline, with a better parenting, better confidence, self-esteem, and anything that increase the confidence, self-esteem of any human being, that is an essential thing.
And also, it's essential for the people even who work with us to feed their families.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So every job is essential, because that's how we support our families. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. And again, I know some of you that they will judging others for being irresponsible because they interact or they're doing things. Please, let's not judge, because you don't know what shoes they are and what position they are. And maybe for a mother have to do whatever just to feed, a single mother that have to feed their daughter or their son or pay their bills or just put food on the table. Then let's zero judge and show some compassion. Okay. Oh, and we're doing a.
Oh, we are what the Mother's Day. Oh yes. So Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, I'll be hosting a class with Master Warners, and we're gonna have our children with us. So it's going to be a mommy and me class, and it's not just for Victory students. We're opening that for everyone in the community, just so we can, as moms, we can take at least 30 minutes on that Saturday to spend time with our children, but having fun and doing something different, something together. So you're all invited. We will, this week, we will start to promote the class, and I hope to see you all there.
Yeah.
You
and
too. There. We have so many
and
cameras.
then that way in June, when it's Father's Day, then maybe I do a class.
Yeah.
And maybe I do with my kids that they are
with all his 20 kids.
with my kids and grandkids. And I have total 5 kids and 3 grandkids and soon to be 4 grandkids. And I hope I can do a class also. Thank you, everybody. We have any questions?
No, just saying hello here. We have
Okay.
so many great friends
All right.
watching. And
Daniel Lambert says, "Say it louder. I wish everyone felt this way."
Daniel Lambert. Daniel Lambert was
one of our first students.
absolutely,
Oh my God.
and Paul Lambert is a friend of mine,
Oh, man.
and his wife, and
Legend.
and
I don't
the whole
know them, but I heard of
Oh,
them so
yes.
much.
Yes.
They were in our school the
So
first
hi.
year we opened.
Yes, and of course, how can I forget all these people that be my student here in America? I had the students when I was teaching in Jacksonville, and my gratitude for all of them. I can only imagine how they understood my English then 30 years ago, and they still. Somebody just wrote me and said, "I was your student in Jacksonville." That's 30 years ago, and I still in touch. Many of them. Jimmy Michelanos was one of them that just wrote me. And I remember Jimmy Michelanos and many people, and I just see people here and Orlando from Winter Park, and I just also to tell you thank you because in that time you trust your family with us, and if I can do anything for your family now, please reach out. Okay.
And that is extended to all our credit students as well. Everyone
Absolutely.
who
I
is-
mean,
yeah, I mean,
we had
we
just
have
a fantastic
so
parents
many
and
amazing
students
families. Yeah.
and so supporting that how can we are not happy in this moment when it's easy to be positive when the environment's good, and this kind of environment and people, they are positive and they reach out and we feel the love. Thank you for that love, everybody.
Thank you. So this is a Motivation Monday. Ms. Ramirez just called it. That's how it's called.
Oh, Motivation Monday.
All right.
Yeah, we have one of
Alright.
our former.
Hey, motivation like a
coordinators.
shower.
Yes,
Zig
motivation is like shower, Zig Ziglar. You have to take every day. All right.
So at least once a week with us.
Well, I think
And we'll tell them to ask questions. I
yes,
think it's
please,
great to-
please
yeah.
for the next
Yeah.
Monday, give us your favorite subject. And it's not like we know everything, but at least we're gonna attempt to give you some perspective, because life is all just about perspective, and our perspective is just our perspective. But I hope you take it is helping you and to give you a better week. All right.
And we also have fun.
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta enjoy yourself.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank you,
everybody.
everybody. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, Instagram. Bye, Facebook.
See you soon. Good Monday.
Every Monday.
Yeah.
Wait, not yet. Bye.